Ooh, welcome everyone to the Daily Juice Podcast on the Betting Pros Network. I'm your host, Sean, stacking the money green. And as always, Daily Juice is being brought to you by BetMGM. Use the promo code JUICE150 and you get a risk-free $1,000 bet. Hey, NFL Preseason was back. That was fun. Had I don't even know if it was some sweats, but still, I had two NFL games on at the same time. Action on both games. Just felt great to be alive. Unfortunately, 1 and 2. Lost about 1 unit and maybe a little bit of the juice there. But, hey, we got more preseason football. We got Friday night preseason football, Saturday, Sunday, and it's Friday. So Future Friday as well. Got a win total play here at the end of the podcast. 2 preseason picks. And, hey, I'm tossing a little baseball for you baseball guys. Let's go. All right, recap of the picks. Philadelphia Phillies on the money line. They lost 3-0, got shut out. The Magic maybe ran out there. Their winning streak comes to an end. But, hey, it was a fun ride. And, man, they really had me believing again. They were down 3-0, bottom of the ninth, bases loaded. 0 outs. That's right, 0 outs. I had to remember myself. I'm like, wait, was it really 0 outs, bases loaded, and nothing, complete whiff. So, unfortunate way for that win streak to end. The Patriots, Giants, under, and that thing went over. Giants kicked the last-second field goal to get the win, but they did not cover. I think it was 23-21. I honestly stopped paying attention as soon as the over hit. Man, there were some opportunities for some interceptions there to stop the scoring. Wasn't meant to be. But really, I should have made this a 1,000-unit play because the Baltimore Ravens have just been a printing factory. You know, once in a while, you get manna from the gambling gods. And this Baltimore Ravens preseason is certainly one of them. I think this split was like 70-30 for Baltimore. What 30% of bettors are betting against the Baltimore Ravens in preseason? I get it if it's some crazy long shot, but they're only laying 3.5, and then it closed at 3. Of course they got the win. Of course they got the cover, 23-10, and now they extend Harbaugh and the Ravens' preseason winning streak to 21 games, 18-2-1 ATS. I'm counting down the days so we can bet on them again. It's just that easy. Don't overthink it. Some things you have to overthink. You have to do the numbers, look at some analytics, get a gut feel, watch some tape. Not with the Baltimore Ravens preseason. Although, like I said, 2 things that concerned me was Tyrod Taylor for the over for the Giants. And again, I think he's the best quarterback on the Giants roster. If they start him, I think they have a chance to go over their win total. They won't. They still think Daniel Jones is a competent quarterback. And Malik Willis. I'm going to do a little more thinking on this, but Malik Willis, 50-1, rookie of the year. It's 50-1. But I think there's a little bit of a chance there, especially Kenny Pickett doesn't look like he's going to start, and there's a bunch of receivers that are kind of interesting plays. I'll wait for maybe next week, Future Friday. I was keeping an eye on George Pickens. I gave it out on my other show for Offensive Rookie of the Year Sports Gambling Podcast, 40-1. I looked at it again to maybe give it out for Future Friday, and it's all the way down to 20-1. So cutting the odds in half. I know you fellas out there like some good EV opportunities. At 20-1, I don't know, not as appealing. Obviously, you know what is appealing? Getting an autographed Brian Dawkins jersey, courtesy of Pristine Auction. All you got to do, step 1, subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/bettingpros. Step 2, comment on this video. And then step 3, turn on your notifications so when you win the video, we can get your information and get you the jersey. All right, enough messing around. Let's get to the picks. Falcons at Lions. Right now it's a pick. Give me the Falcons, minus 110 over on DraftKings. Hard Knocks teams are 21-31 against the spread. Neither coach, both second-year coaches, neither coach seems that interested in winning preseason games. Both are actually 0-3. I'll take the team not on Hard Knocks. I'll take the team with Marcus Mariota, who I think has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. So I think Marcus Mariota, he's trying to push to see, push as long as Arthur Smith will let him play. That's a good sign for me. And again, Detroit Lions are going to be exhausted trying to show everyone how much grit they had during the week for those Hard Knocks cameras. Hey, it's preseason. There's not a ton to go on, but I like Falcons here as a pick, especially like the Hard Knocks trend. Again, shout out to Matt Friedman for providing it. He also did the legwork for the totals. And Falcons at Lions right now over on FanDuel, it's 35.5. This may be my last preseason total, and then I'll do a bigger examination because I still like taking week 1 preseason unders. I don't think they can set these low enough. I'm 0-2 on the ones I've given out on the show so far. But yeah, give me Falcons at Lions under 35.5 over on FanDuel. Again, the Hard Knocks team, 17-34-1 to the under. That's a pretty strong trend. And you look at the history of both teams. Again, small sample size. We're working with small sample size. Falcons, in 3 preseason games last year, scored 30 total points. That's between 3 games. Detroit Lions, better, but not crazy good. In 3 games, they scored 52 points. Combine those 2 team averages, you're looking at 27. You got 8.5 points of wiggle room. That's enough wiggle room for me. And the Hard Knocks trend, Falcons at Lions under 35.5 over on FanDuel. Hey, if you guys haven't already downloaded the Betting Pros app, I don't know what you're doing. You can shop around, get the best prices, and then, of course, expert picks, consensus picks. It's a great tool. The whole Betting Pros, the website, the apps, there's a ton of really good information. Bet smarter, not harder. Get the Betting Pros app. All right, 2 more picks, including my future Friday play. Dodgers, -1.5 on the run line at the Royals, -142 on FanDuel. I'm going to keep riding this. It's one of the few baseball auto plays that is just working for me. 10-game win streak. All 10 games, they've won by 2 or more runs. Dodgers on the money line or on the run line, 69-41. Nice. 49-26 after a win on the run line. Also like that. Royals are coming off a win, so you add that in there. Now, they're not horrible coming off a win on the run line, but straight up, they're 47-66 on the money line, straight up after a win, so I like that. Royals, sub 500 on the run line, sub 500 on the run line at home. You got the Dodgers pitcher, Tony Gonsolin. He's a machine, 13-1. And then you look at the Royals pitcher, Daniel Lynch. His ERA is a full 2 point higher than Gonsolin. I really like this spot for the Dodgers, and I've liked all these spots. They are just a run line printing machine. I'm not going to get in their way, and they're also coming off a day of rest. So tons of things going right for the Dodgers as they just show they're the best team in the majors right now and one of the best teams to bet on. On the run line, it's just them and the Orioles right now that are just dominating, and doesn't look like it's going to be slowing down anytime soon. All right, let's go to the NFL win totals. Washington Commanders under 7.5, and you're actually getting plus odds over on the win at plus 115. Some places I think are still hanging an 8, but you're not going to get that plus 115. I just can't believe we're getting plus odds fading this Washington team. Like, what have they done to make themselves dramatically better? The last time a Washington football team, whatever variation, last time they won more than 7.5 games, you got to go all the way back to 2016. Last time a Ron Rivera coached team won more than 7 games was back in 2017. They don't seem to have a real home field advantage, the Commanders. A lot of the fans are out on the name. If you remember that video where the stands collapsed and almost took out Jalen Hurts, they're 3-5 at home, so even the extra home game, I don't know, does them a ton of good. All the reports out of Carson Wentz's training camp have been horrible. He's running plays on air and has trouble connecting to the receivers for completions. I know what you're saying. Hey, new system, give this guy a chance. Trust me, as an Eagles fan, in 2020, when he had a disastrous camp, it led to disaster on the field. Horrific season for Carson Wentz, and it's tough to be really optimistic about them moving forward. I mean, the Colts, his last team, their fan base put together a highlight reel of him making left-handed throws, and it's a complete disaster. So I do get what people saying, like, oh, the quarterback situation was so bad in Washington that bringing in Carson Wentz is an upgrade. But just look at the eye test. Any of these close games that Washington is going to be in, Carson is going to choke. He's going to fail. He's just doesn't have the ability to show up in big games. He doesn't have Jonathan Taylor behind him to carry them to a winning record. I mean, if the Colts didn't have Jonathan Taylor, if they had the running back collection that the Commanders have, and there's some talent there, certainly Gibson, McKissick, but I mean, Jonathan Taylor was in the mix for MVP. So you had an MVP running back and you only won 9 games. I think it's also a step down in the offensive line play, which I would still put the Colts offensive line ahead of the Washington Commanders. And this is a nugget earlier on in the summer. I'm sure things have changed, but I saw a nugget that according to Caesars Sportsbook, 99% of the money placed on the Commanders win total bet at 7.5 was the over. It was the most lopsided win total at Caesars in terms of dollars placed. That is insane. And as you know, people, FTP. Fade the public. So many good reasons to fade the Washington Commanders. Love their under at 7.5 wins over on win, and you're getting plus 115 on that. Got to ride the Dodgers run line train, minus 1.5, minus 142 over on FanDuel. And, of course, the Hard Knocks trend of the Lions Falcons under 35.5 on FanDuel, and Falcons as a pick at Detroit. All right. Thank you guys, as always, for tuning in. Make sure you go over to BetMGM. Use that promo code JUICE150. Get that risk-free $1,000 bet. Follow us on TikTok at Betting Pros. Follow me on Twitter at Sean T. Green. Check out my other show, Sports Gambling Podcast. Just did our Bills Win Total Preview podcast. A lot of fun over there. And, hey, if you're at the Fantasy Football Expo this weekend, I will be there. Come say hi or, hit me up in the Betting Pros Discord, bettingpros.com/chat. Get in over there. Say, what's up, Sean? I'm going to be at the Fantasy Football Expo. Where are you going to be at? And, hang out, talk fantasy, grab a beer, whatever you do in Canton, Ohio. Highly recommend checking out the Hall of Fame. That thing is just awesome. All right, subscribe, rate, and review. And as always, don't forget to let it ride.